Nini, everyone, welcome back to Witchy Words with Zabora. I'm your host, Zabora. So today's witchy word is Poppet. Now, this came about as a question in a Facebook group that I mod. Somebody had posted about poppets and what they're made out of, and wanted to know what other witches used and how they made them. Even it asked for pictures, and somebody had inevitably asked, "What is a poppet?" So a poppet is a doll. Now, as the OP, the original poster in that group had said, they wanted to know what they could be made out of. So I've used clay, I've used felt, I've used cloth, I've used shirt material from my Target. I've seen, people use Play-Doh. I've seen people sew together like little bags, like little charm bags that did not physically look like a doll, but actually acted as a representation of that person. It resembled more of a mojo sack. Now, I'm not sure if you could use something that was like a little plastic figurine for somebody if it was theirs. I mean, I'm sure maybe you could. But basically, that this doll that you create is something that you're going to tie to your target. And then this kind of aids as a representation of that person when you're performing spell work on them. Whether for good or ill is not really important. It's more about the idea of the doll itself. So what you would want to do if you wanted to make a doll is try to get something that belonged to the person, something that has their DNA on it, like a cigarette butt, or maybe a hair, or maybe some fibers from their clothes. Just try to take something, and especially if you're using malevolent magic, you want to take this without their knowledge, even almost in a deceptive sort of evilly way is the only way that I could describe it. I don't want to say by force. You don't want to like stab somebody and be like, "I need your blood, bitch," you know. But you do want to do it in like the most disastrously evil way you could think of. Whether you steal $1 from them or you take their makeup bag or something like that. You want to do this in a very sneaky, evil way when it comes to the malevolent magic, at least in my opinion. Now, if it's for good or for helping this person, you may ask them, "Can I have a piece of your clothing that you no longer use, like an old sock with holes in it?" Or you may collect some hair from them, or fingernail clippings, something non-invasive. Something that they're not going to really miss. So that's really up to you. But basically, you want to get something with that represents them, their representation. You want to create a doll out of it. Give it, the same type of hair. Put the makeup on if they're a female that wears makeup or a male that wears makeup. Make it look like them to the best of your ability. Or don't. They are pre-voodoo doll type kits available that witches do make. You're more than welcome to purchase one of those and simply add the intention to the doll. So once you have created your doll and you have that piece of something from them, you want to put that in the doll. You can either put it inside the doll, sew it onto the outside of the doll, again, depending on what it is. Maybe if it's makeup, you could decorate the doll with the person's makeup. If it's hair, you may put it in the top of the head and have it sticking out as actual hair. Fingernail clippings, of course, you could sew onto the actual hand of the doll, or again, just place them inside. It's totally up to you on what you want to do. And then you're going to connect that doll to that person through a ritual. Now, in hoodoo, there's a lot of breathing in life into the doll, and that's kind of tied a little bit into Christianity, whereas like the breath of life is instilled into the doll. Other religions and other practices do it differently. You're going to go ahead and just choose the woo that works for you. That's just the only way I can put it. Choose the technique that works for you. So once you have activated this doll becomes that person. So what you do with this doll happens to that person. So if you want to heal someone's broken leg, you would wrap the doll's leg up in like a stent and burn blue candles and give it healing baths and pass it through incense of healing and stuff while you're saying your prayers and your chants and you're building energy and you're working towards this goal of healing that doll's broken leg or whatever. Okay? So, again, I hope this has been enlightening. That's it for tonight on Poppets. Synapti.